What's up, guys? It's John at National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into just do a recap of tonight's games, and go into like I said, I always like to do like final, any kind of ideas on tomorrow, but not much has changed. But actually, what I am going to do is this is going to be another path. If you haven't noticed by the title, it's going to be the Raiders' path to the playoffs. So here we had a good night. We finished 7-4, and again, it's just sticking with the system. So even though we finished 7-4, we did way better than that because, again, I get this out on live time. The Hornets and the Knicks were my favorite games, as I had said. So when the Knicks fell through as a leg 2, we put Hornets as leg 3, and that game is really interesting. I want to go into that. So we picked up 7 units, and only lost a few, and we'll be plugging in leg 2s. So now this one, I'm surprised the Gematria goons weren't all over this game because, to be honest, I get a lot of people that are like, oh, this team's definitely going to win because of this reason, that reason, and the other. And, this one was pretty, looking at it, especially like once I had a chance to just look at the games that were played, it didn't take me long to realize a very common theme. And to be fair, this is more symbolism than Gematria. But again, we had the 8-24 Bobcats rolling in. Now they're owned by Michael Jordan, who also played for the Wizards, who beat the Kings, and he also played for the Bulls, who beat the Knicks. And both of those teams were underdogs. So all 3 of Jordan's underdog, teams won. And it's funny, he beats the Kings, King James, the Lakers, and he beats New York. So I found the record interesting, and I found the fact that I do remember at the 126-130 mark, when the Lakers were trailing 126-130, I wondered if anything would happen. Well, 8 points were scored from that point until the end of the game. So I don't go deep into those rabbit holes, but just on the surface level, that one has a lot of material, it seems like. So, I could go deeper into that if you guys want, but I'm sure the Gematria people and those people that cover that will be all over that. It's funny, I didn't see anybody talking about it, and whenever you have Michael Jordan's 3 teams playing, I think it's something that needs to be talked about, especially when you have the Lakers involved. So now we got the Raiders' path to the playoffs. And do I think they get in or not? Well, let's see. I'll tell you, I think the end of the season is going to be very similar to the Packers, where they make a run. It's just going to be contingent on other teams. I do like the Patriots. So here we're just going to go with the teams that I like to win. Okay, so spreads be damned for now. Again, I haven't gone completely into the night games, but I'm going to go with the teams that I believe win. And there's some I'm like 50-50 on. But for the most part, this is essentially who I have winning. So we'll go with that. And we're going to go into week 17. And now we have, let's give it to the Patriots. That will help the, what we're going to do is give it to teams that are competing with the Raiders. We don't want to give the Raiders a layup. We want to make it where it's something that's believable. I think the Bengals could beat the Bills, but I'll go with the Bills in that game, actually. I like that. I could see the Browns snake in this game, to be honest. Actually, I don't think they both do, but I can see the Colts snake in that game. One or the other probably does. We'll give the Jets the win. We'll give the Chargers the win. We'll give the Raiders this one upset. Throw a bone their way. And then we got the Packers winning. We got Eagles. That all looks good. Okay. And now we're on the final week of the season. And we're going to do the Raiders last. Broncos, Chargers. Chargers, it's funny. Several years in a row, they've done this towards the end of the season. So this is the one team I'm going to give it to the Broncos at home. I think there's a chance that they could do it. And if they don't, the Chargers might blow it in LA. I'm not saying they will, but they're the one team that I'm not really sold on. We can give this one to the Ravens. They're more of a wild card threat. I think Jacksonville wins. Again, we can give this to the Colts. I do think the Dolphins win. For the NFC side, it's not really relevant. This is basically what I see, though. All right. When we do that and get to the playoffs, we will see that the Raiders do get in. Like I said with the Packers, do I think this happens? Yes. Unlike the Packers, I actually think the Raiders make a run and get in the playoffs. As you see with this, they would finish with a record of 9-8, tying the Patriots. And that's why I think this Patriots win over the Bengals is going to be pivotal. And more importantly, they're probably going to beat the Dolphins, which will set up Jets-Dolphins the final week. And as you can see, the record just kind of fall perfectly into place. All they need is the Chargers. Now, I give the Ravens a lot of wins. A lot could happen there. The Bengals are probably going to finish better than this. So again, a lot of these games I'm playing devil's advocate just to show you who, we need to win and lose. But I gave a lot of AFC teams like the Jets, the Patriots wins, the Ravens, the Browns, and the Raiders still, as long as the Chargers, the only team, have one game not go their way, then the Raiders win. Now, you might ask, why do I have them beating? Because I haven't beaten San Francisco. That's one upset. And now you might say, well, now you got to beat Kansas City. That's just too much. Well, the reason I haven't beaten Kansas City is you see the Kansas City here as a 2 seed. When I ran through my simulations, I have Bills winning, about winning out, things like that. So there's a very, very good chance that Kansas City, and I'm not saying it does happen, will wind up flipping Buffalo and becoming a 1 seed here. You see in this situation, I think they have the same record at 13-4, 13-4. So, again, I think they have the 1st seed, or at the least, they're still not going to be. They're going to have home field advantage. It's going to be locked. So you can imagine the Raiders playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't going to be playing as hard as the Raiders, nearly as hard. Real or not real. So that's why I take it from that approach, because the announcers will explain that away as to why the Mahomes isn't going to be trying to hurdle people to get first downs. So I think it plays out very interesting where the Raiders sneak right in, Chargers disappoint, and it's an exciting playoff picture if you look at it. I think it's a lot more exciting, and I like the Chargers. I do. I think they do push Herbert. I just don't think they do now. But I wanted to cover that. I figured instead of making separate videos, I would just cover that. And like I said, I didn't really go into the night games into a crazy fashion, but I did all my 1 o'clocks. And as far as the night games go and the later games go, like Eagles, Cowboys, I'll look into them and have an official video out. But this is essentially who I do like. So if you just want to take a gander. Now, these are money line picks, I'll have you know. So not all of these are going to be the spreads I went over. I went over the spreads in my my other video. The one prior to this. Not the basketball one, but the football one prior to this. I went into the spreads, who I like to cover each game. But I was just basically giving you guys a gist, and then I can go into the 4 o'clocks and the night games too. I just want to look at them a little more, and as I said, sometimes an early feeling of the 1 o'clock games helps us there. But yeah, another good day, 7-4, 2 days in a row for basketball, with one football game in there that we did win, and it was college. And I think we have a good Saturday. I think we do good this whole weekend, to be honest. I think we're going to get some upsets, and certain teams just have to win and lose, in my opinion. So I'll go into more, but I really wanted to cover the Raiders' path to the playoffs, especially because I think a lot of people don't have them getting in, and I think they do. And they've been requested along with the Packers. Another one is Patriots. People want me to go into Patriots, which I will. We can see if they can get in, if they can get a 6 seed or something, or if I think they do. But just to recap right now, there's from the ones we've done so far, we do have the Jags winning the division and getting in. We have the Titans losing the division and not getting in. We have the Packers making a run but not getting in. We have the Dolphins winning a 6 or 7 seed and getting in. And we have the Jets not getting in. Those ones we've gone over, and now we have the Raiders making a run and officially getting in. So that's just my pick. Doesn't mean they're all going to be right, but I do think something happens with the Raiders here. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.